Have you ever stopped to think about the power of acting as if nothing bothers you? In the midst of a noisy world where everything seems to demand a reaction, there is a surprising strength in simply staying calm. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? The secret to a life of inner peace and wisdom often lies right there, not being shaken by what happens around you. And Buddhism teaches us exactly that, how to navigate life's storms with an almost unshakable serenity. Just imagine how your life would be if the things that usually get under your skin lost that power. If nothing could throw you off balance anymore. Sounds powerful, doesn't it? So, keep watching, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how this shift in attitude can radically transform your reality and lead you to an inner tranquility you never thought possible. Inner peace is like a quiet refuge amidst the chaos of the world. When you let anger consume your thoughts, the price you pay is high. It's not just a punishment for others, but a personal torment, destroys your inner peace. Imagine a situation where someone offends you, and your immediate response is to retaliate aggressively. By doing so, you become a prisoner of your own anger, feeding a flame that only burns your own soul. Cultivating inner peace is like extinguishing that fire, restoring clarity and balance. A practical example would be to take a deep breath and count to 10 before reacting. This not only calms your mind, but also gives you time to choose a wiser response. The secret to maintaining this inner peace lies in constant practice. Just as a plant needs water and light to grow, the mind needs attention and care to blossom in peace. Many underestimate the power of a simple routine, like dedicating a few minutes daily to meditation or walking in silence through nature. These practices, though subtle, have a profound impact on strengthening emotional resilience. When you learn not to react impulsively, but to observe and reflect instead, life gains a new perspective. Wisdom is born from patience, and patience is the path to a life of contentment and inner peace. Now, imagine applying this in daily situations where patience and tranquility are constantly challenged. Whether in chaotic traffic or during a heated argument at work, staying calm is an exercise in discipline. A person who cultivates inner peace becomes a point of calm in the storm, positively influencing everyone around them. To strengthen this skill, one can use conscious breathing techniques, or even keep a journal to reflect on moments when tranquility was tested. These simple actions promote continuous personal growth, building a solid foundation of resilience and inner peace. Listening is an art that few master, but when practiced, it opens doors to true understanding and empathy. Often we are so focused on responding, on having the last word, that we forget the value of silence. Listening twice before speaking once is like applying a filter to our communication, allowing words to be considered and responses to be wiser. Imagine yourself in a difficult conversation, where the temptation to interrupt is strong. Resist, breathe, and listen deeply to what the other person is saying. By practicing this principle, you create a genuine connection where the other person feels truly heard. This not only strengthens bonds but also promotes inner peace. Speaking becomes an expression of wisdom rather than reactivity. In the rush of daily life, the tendency is to speed up conversations, cutting off sentences, implying meanings, and in the process, losing the essence of what's being said. Practice of listening more and speaking less is a powerful key to personal growth. When we allow ourselves to silence our minds and truly absorb what the other is sharing, we create a space of mutual understanding. This practice can be applied in any context, whether in a work meeting or an intimate moment with a friend. A good exercise is to mentally repeat what was said before formulating a response. This not only reinforces empathy, but also helps keep the focus on what truly matters. The power of silence is underestimated. Often, it is in silence that the deepest answers are found. The next time you find yourself in a situation where the impulse to speak is immediate, try pausing, listen attentively, and only then, if necessary, respond. This practice not only promotes more effective communication, but also cultivates humility, as it recognizes that we don't always have all the answers ready. This wise and measured behavior, in addition to strengthening relationships, leads to significant personal growth. After all, it is in attentive listening that we learn. and it is in constant learning true wisdom is found. Everyone has a unique path to follow, and trying to shape it according to others' expectations is like trying to wear clothes that weren't made for your body. Following your own path requires courage, resilience, and a deep acceptance that you won't always please everyone. When you live according to others' standards, the result is constant dissatisfaction, feeling of being lost. True inner peace comes when you embrace your own path, focusing on the present and valuing each step of the journey. Imagine someone who decides to leave a stable career to pursue their passion. First, the criticism may be intense, but over time, this person realizes that personal growth and fulfillment are far greater rewards than external approval. Living according to your own path is an act of simplicity. By removing the layers of expectations imposed by others, you discover a more authentic and meaningful life. For many, this journey is marked by ups and downs, but it is precisely in these challenging moments true wisdom is found. Focusing on the present moment, without excessively worrying about the future or clinging to the past, is the key to maintaining inner peace and tranquility. A simple practice to help maintain this focus is to take a few minutes each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. This practice of gratitude is an anchor that helps bring clarity and contentment amidst life's storms. The secret to following your own path with serenity is accepting that life is impermanent, and that each day brings a new opportunity for learning. When we free ourselves from others' opinions and allow ourselves to live according to our values, we discover a new form of empathy, both with ourselves and with others. The personal journey becomes fertile ground for personal growth, where each challenge is seen as an opportunity for evolution. Thus, life transforms into a harmonious dance between acceptance and wisdom, where each step on the path is a manifestation of inner peace and contentment. Life is full of challenges, and accepting these challenges is the first step in cultivating resilience. When we face difficulties, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. By accepting that obstacles are part of the journey, we create space for personal growth and inner peace. Think of a situation where you encounter an unexpected loss. The natural reaction might be despair, but by accepting the situation, you allow the pain to flow instead of clinging to it. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, but rather a posture of humility and wisdom in the face of adversity, allowing you to move forward with more lightness and clarity. Accepting challenges is a practice that can be cultivated daily. Instead of resisting what cannot be changed, practice of acceptance offers a path of simplicity and serenity. A practical example is adopting a learning mindset rather than a victim mindset. When something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This simple shift in perspective opens the door to personal growth and the building of solid resilience. Moreover, this practice strengthens empathy, as by accepting our own difficulties, we become more compassionate with others' struggles. The power of acceptance also lies in its ability to free us from unrealistic expectations. By letting go of the desire to control everything around us, we find a new form of inner peace. This doesn't mean giving up on our dreams, but rather accepting the highs and lows of the journey, understanding that each challenge brings with it an opportunity for evolution. This acceptance transforms life into a continuous learning journey where each obstacle is seen as a chance to develop wisdom and humility. Thus, resilience becomes the foundation of a full and balanced life. Failure is inevitable in any journey of personal growth, but what sets successful people apart is how they deal with these failures. Instead of seeing failure as the end, it should be viewed as a stepping stone to success. Imagine someone trying to start a business and failing on the first attempt. Instead of giving up, this person decides to learn from the mistakes made, adjusts their strategy, and tries again. This process of trial and error is what builds the resilience and wisdom needed for success. Embracing failures means accepting that they are part of the journey and that each fall brings with it an opportunity for learning and growth. Humility is essential when it comes to learning from failures. It's important to recognize that no one is perfect and that everyone is susceptible to making mistakes. By embracing this reality, a person becomes more open to constructive criticism and willing to adjust their course when necessary. Practical example is to periodically analyze your actions and identify areas where things didn't go as expected. Instead of blaming yourself, ask, "What can I improve next time?" This simple practice not only strengthens the ability to learn from failures, but also promotes continuous personal growth, leading to a life of greater contentment and inner peace. The act of embracing failures also teaches us to cultivate empathy. When we understand that failure is part of the human experience, we become more compassionate with others and with ourselves. This compassion allows us to create an environment of support and encouragement, both for those around us and for ourselves. By accepting failure as a learning tool, we open the door to a life of simplicity and wisdom, where each mistake is seen as a step towards success. This mindset strengthens resilience, allowing a person to face challenges with courage and determination, always with inner peace as a guide. Simplicity is a hidden treasure in a world that constantly pushes us towards excess. By adopting a simpler life, one finds clarity, inner peace, and deep contentment. Living simply doesn't mean giving up everything, but focusing on what truly matters. Imagine someone who decides to simplify their life by reducing material possessions and dedicating more time to family and the things that truly bring happiness. This person discovers that by freeing themselves from excess, their mind becomes lighter and life more fulfilling. Simplicity, therefore, is a path to inner peace and personal growth. Living simply is also an act of humility. By recognizing that we don't need much to be happy, we create space to value what truly matters. This allows us to focus on experiences and human connections, rather than getting lost in an endless pursuit of more things. Practical example is organizing your home, eliminating non-essential items. This symbolic act of physical decluttering also reflects a mental cleansing, where excess is replaced by a sense of peace and order. Simplicity, in this sense, promotes emotional resilience by eliminating distractions and allowing us to focus on what truly matters. The practice of simplicity also helps us cultivate wisdom. By living more simply, we become more conscious of our choices and more attentive to what truly brings happiness. This teaches us to live with more presence, accepting life as it is, without the constant need to seek more. By embracing simplicity, we find a path to inner peace and contentment, where each moment is lived fully. This simplicity not only enriches personal life, but also strengthens relationships and promotes genuine empathy with others, creating a life of greater balance and harmony. Humility is the foundation of true wisdom, as it opens the door to continuous learning and personal growth. When a person places themselves in a position of humility, they recognize that there is always something to learn, regardless of their experience or knowledge. Imagine a master in their field who, instead of boasting, chooses to listen and learn from others. This posture not only promotes inner peace, but also strengthens empathy and human connections. Humility, therefore, is a daily practice that reminds us of our human condition and allows us to walk more lightly through life. Living with humility also helps us simplify life by eliminating the need to prove something to others. When we strip away ego and comparisons, we find deep contentment in who we are and what we have. Practical example is recognizing and accepting our mistakes without trying to justify them or shift the blame. This act of honesty with oneself not only promotes inner peace, but also strengthens relationships, as it creates an environment of trust and authenticity. Humility, therefore, becomes a key to a more balanced and happy life, where personal growth is continuous and natural. Humility also teaches us to cultivate empathy, as by recognizing our own imperfection, we become more understanding of others' flaws. This daily practice of compassion helps us build a more harmonious world, where every interaction is an opportunity to learn and grow. By living with humility, we discover that true strength lies in accepting our vulnerabilities and being willing to learn from them. This leads us to a life of greater wisdom, where simplicity and inner peace walk hand in hand, creating a fertile environment for personal growth and lasting happiness. True contentment is a wealth that cannot be bought. In a world where material fortune is often seen as the ultimate goal, learning to value what you have is a powerful lesson. Contentment doesn't come from an abundance of possessions, but from the acceptance and appreciation of what we already have. Imagine someone who, despite living a simple life, finds joy in the little things: the company of friends, a good book, or the silence of nature. This person understands that inner peace is not bought with money, but cultivated with humility and wisdom. Living in constant pursuit of fortune can create an emotional void that's hard to fill. Instead of focusing on accumulating goods, contentment teaches us to live with simplicity and gratitude. A practical example is keeping a daily inventory of the things you are grateful for. This can be done through a gratitude journal where you record small victories and moments of joy. This practice of gratitude helps us realize that happiness doesn't depend on external factors, but on our own perception and attitude towards life. Contentment thus becomes a source of inner peace and personal growth. Contentment also frees us from constant comparison with others. When we learn to be satisfied with what we have, we release a great emotional and mental burden that was once dedicated to the incessant pursuit of more. This allows us to focus on the things that truly matter: relationships, emotional well-being, and spiritual growth. True fortune, therefore, is not in what we accumulate, but in what we cultivate within ourselves. By practicing contentment, we find lasting peace, where simplicity and wisdom guide our choices and lead us to a life of greater balance. Now that you've learned how this shift in attitude can bring unshakable tranquility, it's time to take action. Think for a moment. How many times have you let yourself be shaken by things that, in the end, aren't that important? What if you could face these challenges with the calm of a monk? Key lies in applying what you've learned here. Start today by cultivating that inner peace. Observe your reaction, take a deep breath, and choose not to be disturbed. You are in control of your peace, and no one can take it from you unless you allow it. So tell me, are you ready for this change? Are you ready to live with more peace and less stress? If so, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and keep following our videos to learn even more about how to transform your life through wisdom and simplicity. The path to a full life starts now, and I'll be here with you every step of the way.